Congolese men do not want successful women. Have we ever had a Congolese woman try run for president? These Congolese men never allow it. No, let me tell you how far. No, let me go. How far do they get and how much support do they get from Congolese men? No, they do not get any.
I don't really feel any way about it because I know he's not talking about me, so I'm not really that bothered by it at all. It's the first time I've heard it, actually. I've never heard of it before, but yeah, I'm not bothered by it.
No one about fear, Billy. But I'm mature enough to talk about my relationship, and they're just rushing it. They're not properly trained. It's like Mutumora Tanginekaka primary school, mais I'm not going about office.
Comme j'ai dit, encore une fois, je prends la décision. Bien sûr, j'écoute ce que tu dis parce que tu es une femme mature, parce que tu es une femme qui est intelligente. Mais la dernière décision, c'est moi qui la prends.
You're watching Solola Real Talk. My name is Christian Bless and we're back here again. I told you, Solola Bien, we are going places. Donc, à toutes mes amis qui nous suivent partout, donc que Dieu vous bénisse parce qu'aujourd'hui, on va bien parler, on va Solola Bien. And again, I've got an amazing panelist with us. Again, I would like to just introduce them again. We've got our brother on my left-hand side, Robert Mbala. Comment ça va? We've got Diamond again, elle est toujours très belle, très jolie. Diamond, merci. Ça va? Nous avons encore notre grand frère Trésor Image, the man of the community. Comment ça va? Blessed. Hein? Nous avons again the CEO, the money man, Francos Chimpuki. Comment ça va? Tokos. We've got again, alobaki la fois passée que Azalaka Mukuse mais Kilo. Angélique, comment ça va? Ça va. Très bien. And I'm going to start. We've got the wonderful Amber from Amber's World. How are you?
I'm great.
And we have Getty. Getty, vous parlez français, n'est-ce pas?
Je parle français.
Oui, comment ça va?
Je vais bien, par la grâce de Dieu.
And wonderful, par la grâce de Dieu, hein, donc, fromage. Et nous avons aussi the wonderful, she's wearing a special wig made by Marvelous Hair, the wonderful Gladys. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Wonderful. And guys, if you also want to have Marvelous Hair, you know, the description is going to be on the description area. She makes you look like a queen. Beyonce, Akosabiso. We've also got the wonderful, I think this lady, she's amazing. You know, when I started the idea of Solola Bien, I had a meeting with her and Frank, and from the beginning, they've been supporting us. The wonderful Maya Lashik. How are you?
Hi, guys.
You are the CEO or managing director or the leader of She's King. What title should I give you?
Co-founder.
Co-founder of She's King. You know, we praise God for your life. All right, guys. So the topic of today is going to be interesting. We want to know, does our social status affect or impact the people that we date? You know, we say that Congo, we have various traditions, we have various ways that we see things, we have various ways that we look at people of different class, women, men, rich or poor. We want to understand, as a Congolese man, as a Congolese woman, does our social status affect the people that we date? I'm just going to go around just to get a general consensus. I want to start with the co-founder of She's King, Maya.
I think to some extent it does.
Okay.
Subconsciously, we kind of, I mean, your social network, the people you're around, they're initially the kind of people you interact with. So naturally, I feel like there is some level of influence to the kind of people you date.
That is.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it does. And It just takes time. We're getting there, but men are still intimidated by women that are successful. And some men will not approach you because you have a certain type of car. Some men will not approach you because you have a certain type of job. Some men will not approach you because of the designer you wear. You just look expensive. You look good, but don't settle because of that. But yeah.
Okay. Just quick yes or no answer. Yeah. Gladys, have you experienced men like that before? That were intimidated by you?
Not personally, but I've been told that certain guys won't approach you because you have this type of car.
BMW.
I think it does, and it absolutely should. Especially if you're a woman, don't marry, don't go for a waste man.
Vous pouvez aussi parler français, hein?
Je parle français et j'allais dire justement en français. Je pense que il faut absolument en fait chercher quelqu'un qui est dans votre, dans votre cercle en fait, et de votre niveau bien sûr aussi. Donc ouais non, it does and it should.
Amba, est-ce que vous avez aussi la réponse par rapport à cela?
Definitely not in French.
Alors, Lingala?
Before we get to that, can I just ask you, for the purpose of this debate, because just by some of the responses that we've got so far, can you define social status for us, please?
I'm going to go into deeper because that was just a general question.
Okay,
I'm going to go.
you're going to go a bit deeper. Okay, so
deeper.
I can just answer generally from my understanding of social status at the moment. I think it's interesting now in the time. I feel like maybe before. It had more meaning, social status, whereas now someone can have a big social, like a high social profile or status, but it might not materialize to how they actually live. As far as, because if we look at social media, for example, somebody could be very popular on social media, but actually it doesn't translate into their day-to-day life. So you could be if you are somebody that goes for social status, it's almost like a catfish. You've been catfished by somebody that seemingly, outwardly, seems to have a high position within society. But what does that really mean? As for day to day, what does that mean financially? What does that mean kind of mentally, spiritually? What does that really mean? Values? What does social status actually mean when it comes down to dealing and interacting with people on a one-to-one basis?
Okay. Rob?
I think that, it doesn't. Because I think now the world is bigger than it was before, and I feel like
you might have to speak very loud, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you can meet maybe rich people, maybe you could have met before, but now you can meet them easily with like networking and events, and even in
social media,
even restaurants, even.
Okay.
Well, I think that it does definitely affect the type of people that we want to associate ourselves with. But with that being said, like Amber said, it's definitely right now living in a world of catfishing and everything isn't really what it seems. So if you are going to base a relationship or an interaction with someone because of their social status, it could potentially damage you. Damage what you are trying to achieve. So if you're just going to go by, being with somebody because of their social status, I think it's like a thin ground to walk on, really.
Trésor.
Parce que there's more English here, so a lot of people watching. Listen, Ngana Monique Kala, it used to affect, but now it affects now. But to believe, but I remarqué que même les riches ont des problèmes et belé. Bazo kufa, although they got the money, bazo kufa na bango. So that thing about gold diggers, there's less gold diggers now. Because but they believe by even in your Luka, for
10 times.
People are actually trying to gain life, better than it was before.
Je pense que bon, et ça, oui, et ça la baka, ils ont affecté n'engue batozo peut-être, mais est-ce qu'il faut affecter? Je pense que non, parce que société tout vivre en Angola aujourd'hui, ce qu'on a dit mutum sous pour n'ambongo, to pour n'engue ayebani na société. On se retrouver un petit moment traité par exemple bien. Alors au pays où il y a un équipe pour un bon mais à autre traité le quoi animal moko sur quand on sait comme boire que la combo. Donc moyen où évoluer comme tout exactement. Il y a besoin d'avoir valeur la vie non exact parce qu'il y a aussi des imbéciles riches. Ah ben imbécile mais pas un bon imbécile. Sur quoi d'aller. Bah toi la société moko bah toi sur la bah tu pour na mbongo.
Même Mibal, monsieur, comment on paye de l'eau, Mario, à travailler à beauté, à travailler à Nzoto, fashion, à côté de Mabala. Donc, ils ont ça là. Mais that shouldn't be the reason. Il y a côté, tu fais ça. Love. Okay. Love n'a pas valeur, je pense.
Ok, c'est bon.
I agree with Amber and Diamond and Gladys.
Quand tu l'anglais, trésor.
Trésor. Trésor, like somehow, I'm still against it. I agree, depending on what are your aim personally, because some people, they might say, do you know what, I grew up thinking I must, you know, attract this type of person, I need to, you know, go digger and do that. But and then I'll just on my answer, just depend on what are your aims in life.
Okay. So the general question was, are we affected by the person's social status? I'm going to go a bit further and deep down into this particular topic. So obviously, as being of Congolese descent, there is a general idea where some women believe that certain Congolese men have misogynistic ideas, you know, where they feel that women are second-class citizens and so forth, and they feel like they should be, you know, they should oppress women or not. You know, they have this idea that that's how Congolese men are, which is fake or real, depending on your idea. So my question is this: are Congolese men intimidated by successful women?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I'm going to start this with Angelique. I'm going to start with the women first to say that Congolese women are affected. So let's start with that first. Angelique.
I dated a guy who, he was working before I wasn't working. I was on benefit. All of a sudden, I started working and I was earning like just 2,000-3,000 more. £2,000-3,000 more than what he was earning, and he became intimidated. He became intimidated by not even telling me how much he's earning, and he was like, "Economical finger, like what are you trying to show off? Like, cause you can pay. We will even go dinner." He'll be like, "What you trying to?" I'll be like, "Do you know what? Let me pay because it seems like now you haven't been paid. Let me pay." All of a sudden, it's the argument right there. So I feel some Congolese men do feel intimidated by a woman by depending on what are her life goals, her job, and her career.
Okay.
Let's not lie. Let's just be truthful to it.
Diamond.
Yes. I feel like majority of Congolese men are intimidated.
It went from some to majority and a lot.
Most parce que na ko bate bango nyoso tout. Mais na most is only ka ba oyo bazali intimidated. Donc presque mingi bazali intimidated et pas na basi o bazas na success. Pona nini na lobi ne wana ye because banatangwa kala mibali ba Congolais baza used to basi ba take the leading role in a relationship. Baza used to basi bakenda kamisala ezake obongisi papa cravate obongisi elamba ke musala yo tikale na ndako lambi. Donc mibali ba Congolais balinga ba comprendre te logique wana ba comprendre te tango mwasi azape na makasi wana akende aluka but it doesn't register in their head because ba mesana na ngote ya faute na bangote.
Okay, Lashik.
Yeah, I think in our generation, it's interesting because I think if I look at the way our society is built in our communities, divorce and broken homes are a thing in our communities, which means finance and support in terms of the household is kind of weird, right? So to survive, to make sure that everyone is okay, you need both parents to chip in. And so I feel like our generation is taught, especially as females, to definitely go out there and work and find your position, find your way of being dependable on yourself and also dependable by other people, your family, before even your children or your husband and so forth. So I feel like I encourage young women to go out there and be successful, to go out there and to be leaders. And naturally, I get the sort of idea from Congolese men, which is, you know, if you're too successful, you're going to be too intimidating to a man. Which I kind of feel like I get it, because if men are not being taught to also be strong in their own position, another force that brings another force in makes them feel a little bit intimidated. So I don't disagree that it is a true thing, but I do also feel like it shouldn't be a problem, but it's just highlighting the main issue, which is insecurities. It's not that they don't...
So you do feel that Congolese men are intimidated by successful women?
I feel like they are, and it's not their fault.
It's not their fault?
It's not their fault. I feel like the way they have been raised is not to understand leadership in the correct way. It's a facade that they kind of are raised to understand, whereas girls actually have to go out there and do the work. So then,
I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to go back to what you said.
If I look at where I'm coming from with that, it's based on the idea of how men are not properly taught what being a man is. I think the idea of manhood is so misunderstood by the concept of the patriarchy. So once boys are taught to kind of just run wild and not really taught how to be responsible, then it kind of puts them in a position where they do meet somebody that is well formed internally, they don't really know where to stand with themselves. So I feel like that's kind of where that whole, that point kind of comes from. It's just being able to be solid within yourself as a person. And I'm not saying that it's just men that have insecurities. I think people have insecurities when they don't know how to kind of like understand who they are as a person.
Quite interesting. Gladys. Okay.
Okay, no, I definitely... I think all of them, most Congolese men are... I think so. Most of them are intimidated by successful women. Let's look at all of let's just speak about general celebrities, Congolese men that are successful. How many of them have successful wives? They won't allow it. They will definitely make sure that woman is brought down. Congolese men do not want successful women. Have we ever had a Congolese woman try run for president? These Congolese men will never allow it. No, let me tell you how far. Let me go. How far do they get and how much support do they get from Congolese men? No, they do not get any. Let me finish. And first of all, you guys said no interruption, so let me talk. Ow. Okay, right. So going back to my point. I feel Congolese men are very intimidated by successful women. They are not used to women being able to go out there and be go-getters. That is all. My point finished. The women have summarized it well.
Wait. One more.
Oh, yes,
I want to say, I have to stay impartial. Que Dieu prenne contrôle. Linda.
I'm going to say something, so to throw things in the mix a little bit. It's weird that the dads, I don't know if this is the same for you, they expect, you to be educated, they expect the same, the girls and their boys to be raised the same. Now, my personal experience, I think it ultimately depends on the caliber of men that you are dating. Okay, exactly. It depends on the caliber of men that you're dating. Now, there are those types of men in our community that are intimidated. In my personal experience, it's the way I talk. It's the fact that I'm tall. It's the fact that I'm educated. It's the fact that I've been told loads of times the way that I carry myself. I've been told loads of times that I would intimidate men because I'm tall, because I'm talk the way that I do, because whatever. So I've been told there's many reasons why a Congolese man would be intimidated by me. Now, I've also encountered many Congolese men that are not. That view me, but it's a mentality, it's their education level, it's their exposure, the things that they're exposed to. It makes a massive difference to how they interact with you. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to say no, because when I look at the men in my family, they are married to successful women. When I look at my uncles, I look at my dads, they're married to, they're equals. My parents, they were equals, and they were equally successful in what they did. And I'm always constantly encouraged by the men in my family to be successful.
Yeah. Okay. Let the guys respond. Trésor. So I'm gonna go to Trésor. The majority of the girls said she said some, she said most, she said all. Congolese men are intimidated by successful women. Image, réponse.
Olobibia.
Wow. Successful. It's a new thing. Even in the 70s, the 60s, there's been women out there. You have Congolese, but millionaires.
As men?
You understand? Yes, man.
No, as men, they weren't given the chance.
Yo, is also information. Tout le monde a expliqué. En 1979, 1979, c'est là que théâtre mo beaucoup mo moanan sous ce film où était en Afrique mobile. So bo ebité bandoko cha mwasi moko azalaki millionnaire na mbongo ebele mais azo kokoran biloko bienté. That's why you needed a man.
Women, that's why she needed a man.
No.
To run well.
C'est là c'est ba pesi. Donc ils ont l'action que non. Voilà, ils ont une love story, yeah. Mais na chika balance pour comprendre que ils ont le cicaté, vous allez intimider. Et en plus, intimidation dans quoi? Voiture? Hein? You can get her in finance. Yebi sangai, yebi sangai bakay ni nango. Tuna batones bazo drive ba voiture na.
Mais misus ba baby say record na bango.
Na interrupt binote.
Okay, sorry. Pona comme mais différenté, pas encore comme mais on ndela amba lobi. To mais on ndela kaya materialistic, mais on ndenge ya ba mayele, well spoken na niveau ndenge wana. Okay. Something.
Okay, loba.
Merci. Faut bisa na loba. Amba so to bi côté maï. Hein? N'a pas intimidé na yo par rapport à quoi? Tu es une femme, tu resteras une femme. Statut na yo en tant que businesswoman. Quand tu as approché you, pour la ligne you, madame na yo soit na ba banque na ba carte ça m'intimide pas.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Sikoyo, na zone siko na place na yebisayo ke non. Tozalaka na po bokanisaka to ezala ba misusu oyo ba tobengi bango ba feneya. Bazalaka ba bandi lelo te. Bazalaka depuis kala. Banda ba génération de génération. Nabi boy vite maman mo beaucoup va no benga kimpanvita. À ça la révolution ma kasi pas ba Congo. Yonsan na pesoka po mona keno, il y avait aussi des femmes au ba ningisa.
Yeah, but not as men. You guys are always oppressing them.
Okay. Can you guys, 20 seconds and I'll give it to Frank.
Parce que nazo mona ba tebele, na mona ba fille ebele. But I'm mature enough to go to my relationship, and they're just rushing it. They're not properly trained. It's like mutumora tangi nekaka primary school. Me alinga gesana ba office.
Bref, na sili na takata bo myuka maloba nanga. Basi muto atake mi balide. Yonsan. Bon, ngana na loba boya. Ba mi bali ya ba Congolais ba banga kana bango basi oyo baza successful te. Ozon pan o social status na ye azota mola.
Can you finish? Guys, look, can you let Trésor finish, please? No, you finish, please. 20 seconds, finish.
Listen, social status ya mutu échange na lo mongoti. Mi bala ba Congolais ba banga kana bango ngoti. Especially ba na poto. You understand? So you lingi earn 4,000 a month, you can earn it. Et ça courage na you. So que ta moi ngazo gagner 10 000, 20 000. Et ça, c'est un problème. Biso pété, ça a toujours gagné 5 000, mais moi, ça a gagné 1000. Mais dérangera biso pété.
Okay, so you're saying, yeah, is that penza lokuta, ma comme besoin loba, que tu allez intimider, is that lokuta?
Il y a lokuta quoi?
Is that lokuta? Francos, you loba.
Bon, na loba te lokuta loba te pesa vérité. Na loba za longo truc ni 50-50. Et ça pe na basi ba Congolais so banga mibala ba Congolais baza successful. Et ça na makota basi, moi so amoni mobala za mayele azani akomi intimidé. Azo banga ezali. Ba mi balopé o ba banga petra basi o baza mayele bazali parce que la société des autres hey, tu vas expliquer bazali na bango ba monsieur bazali ezali la société ezana ngo partout mon bateau bazana ba insécurité na bango moko muta koline ba insécurité na chaque fois sera ya kutena muta leke na mayele na ezaka ata entre basi na basi et salamaka comme intimider maman oh bandu le kola ki yo za tsoki danger zo animé au moins le remonter mais si on va battre sikoyo ngala ozo kapesa galisa lobike na société ya congolaise basi ya success bazate wrong.
I didn't say they weren't as successful as the men.
Bazali. Donc l'une des femmes la plus forte dans la politique congolaise, Maman Yves Bazaïba.
And you should know.
Ayib Makassi. Président du Parlement congolais. Azamouassi.
Janine Baboun.
Bazali. Non, papa la famille nangai moko. Papa nangai. Papa nangai is a successful businessman. As an entrepreneur, as a businessman. Maman nangai, she's a successful businessman. There was a time where papa a perdu bambongo na ebele. Motoya qui n'a found. Aya pesabi. Build yourself back up as a mama. Even papa moi Zara shop. Maman a mis ça presque 12 000. Ça c'était 10 000 dollars. Pas à bomba na chambre papa ibalate. Abi misi. Pour maman Zaki ko sala business na side. Malembe a koli sara yango. Bazali. Maman bisa tanga classe. Asisa maramunyo so pas besoin d'être intimidé. To quel sous awa le so besoin ko lo babwe. Oh mi bana ba kono ba ngara ba sha ba ya successful. Ro biso za lo kuta pourquoi? Parce que on va gigolo o bobeng ba gigolo. Bato ba pesa ka ba mbongo. Bato ba look after me saka ba successful wana o bazana mbongo ebele ba jikola ba kuma ipa ba ondeni ba jikola ba so ba to ke ba dem pardon to ke malem
am I she lost now
to ko da lost ba jikola ba to bi ba banga ka faut comprendre la ndanga ibien ba jikolo wana o moni ba sala ma yele ba kende ba université azala ba kamune o mo mobile ne mo ko ba le malem be tiko bi ba banga ka to ke ba banga si ko moni ba jikolo wana o mona ina to na la tata si ça sala ba nini mais awo gérer moi si wana wa za successful bon mo mitu na mendeni mo sala successful ayi bon la gigolo o gigola banga qui était gigola ebi ngala sala les côté mais o linga ma pona beauté na nga assué par commissaire
okay Robert
ça se fait
because I think intimidation
c'est partout
mais I think it's also a thing where like Basiang or Baza successful. Est-ce que Baocha Bambala on mal à l'aise? Do you understand? So Kinde to you was that successful. Now I don't mind you being successful. Me Kochango Tendeti Uzoyako like and it's like I listened to what Gladys said last time. She said that, you know, a man should lead and everything else. Me Baza equal. Me, how do you lead and be equal at the same time? That's kind of contradicting.
It's quite easy, actually.
Do you understand? But I feel like Sokinditi, I don't feel like Bakongole Baza intimidated. I also feel is an attitude be about it.
You think so? You also okay. So you think you say that some women have a complex of grandeur. Because now I've got this job. Because now you now feel that people are intimidated by you, even if it's not real. So it's a woman's fault.
You are proving our point because now you're saying it's our attitude.
Before I go to you,
it's not even. I don't think it's even about attitude. It's really just because if you look at a relationship, it's supposed to be about love and it's supposed to be about respect. If you don't respect your man, he's not gonna stay. Let's just keep it at that.
Would you classify about a woman respect?
But it's the same time.
I feel like sometimes you guys say words, but you don't really understand the meaning of it. What do you classify as respect as a woman? For a woman to give you respect, what do you classify?
I'm just bringing it back to what Diamond said earlier. Like when a man is not used to a woman leading. You're not.
But how is a woman leading? How is it that you feel like a woman is leading?
A woman is leading, for example, in a sense where, okay, you come in, like you said earlier, like you throw money in your face, or you're going to start like taking decision and not taking me into account or something like that. But I'm supposed to be the head. You're supposed to be the neck. In some way, basically, I'm going to be taking decisions. Of course, I'm not saying. Of course, I'm not. Let me finish. Of course, I'm not saying I'm not taking you into consideration. That's not what I'm saying at all. If we're saying I'm leading, it's the same thing with the president and a prime minister. The president has the last say, of course, but the prime minister has his say also. He's going to say something, and I'm not saying and that's also comes back to in a relationship. It's the same thing. I'm going to be basically leading the relationship in a certain direction, but a woman has her say, and you're also going. I'm not saying you're dumb or whatever. No, you can be a very smart woman, and that's also what's going to contribute to our relationship.
Can I ask you one more time? What do you classify as a woman respecting you?
so respect can be different for each and every man. That really this.
But I'm asking for you.
For me, for example, like what I said, for me, it's like really just if you throw money in my face in the same way.
No, but that's disrespect. I'm asking respect. If I ask disrespect, then you say
no. So respect.
I want respect. I want respect.
Ok, je vais parler en français. Non, je vais parler en français.
Non, je vais
parler en français. Laissez-moi parler.
There's no manual that says that someone's life needs to go like this. Just because someone else's life was they did ABC doesn't mean your one has to be the same.
Comme moi justement, je reste à la maison, je fais ce que je suis censé faire et toi tu ne fais pas ce que tu es censé faire. Ça c'est un manque de respect total. Quand tu es dans une relation, c'est comme j'ai dit encore une fois, je prends la décision. Bien sûr, j'écoute ce que tu dis parce que tu es une femme mature, parce que tu es une femme qui est intelligente, mais la dernière décision, c'est moi qui la prends.
But still, you haven't really been specific exactly of what it needs to do. Parce que au dépend exemple précis et pas mon bail mon sousou will give it completely different.
But that's what I started with that. The respect is going to be different for every person.
Okay, oui. But one thing I'm trying to show now, parce que là le français t'es non le bino. Le français quand t'as abi madé.
I'm listening.
Et là non le baboy. Bino mi babo le bake so kazo pesa nga respecter azo changa na place mobilité mais mobali azana definition na yemoko of what it means a woman respecting me. Do you understand? So when it comes for you going back moi si also disrespect me moi so pesa calm down.
Yeah, I think respect is different for every man because it's just every person is different. What respect means for me is not it's the same thing for another person. For me, for example, there are 3 things where I think like you shouldn't cross the line. Basically when I say respect is really just you shouldn't lie to me, you shouldn't take me for a fool, you should respect my time. In that sense, when I say respect me is really just in those 3 things. So when I say throwing money at me, is literally throwing money at me and taking me for a fool. I don't care if you buy me gifts, if you pay for a vacation to the Maldives or whatever. You can make $1 million, I make 20,000. I really don't care how much money you make. It's really just respect me in the sense that in my being. Basically just I'm a man. Don't take me for a little boy and just cheat on me whenever you want to cheat on me and then just throw money at the problem when that's not the issue at hand. And basically that's just what I mean by respect.
Supposed to know your man.
Knowing your man, but you're supposed to be. But bino mi bali ton bino bakamana bino mi bali ba komi skoko ba moi sana disrespect and do that. But you don't know what goes on at home. You don't know what their relationship like. But then you guys take it on. But
you can't. First of all, when you're in a relationship, you can't be allowing outside noise being the factor in deciding where your relationship is going. Okay. Your relationship is between you and your man. If there is one thing that your man doesn't like that he's saying that's disrespectful to me, you're supposed to listen to that and say because the same way I'm supposed to respect to you, you're supposed to respect me.
But if I come and tell you something, I give you advice, you're supposed to listen. But since in Africa, you guys still disrespect.
All right, one second.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Is that indirect?
One second, yeah. Gaty mentioned something. He mentioned something very important. I want to find out your opinion on this. Yeah. Again, looking at a successful woman, he said that as a man, and going back to our tradition, a man is the head of the house, and he's the one that has the final words. And probably the problem that they have is that some women who think that they are successful do not give that man the opportunity to have the final word. What's your thoughts on that? And then Gladys, you're next.
It's not makamba ego. It's also makamba ego. Bien sûr, no? All successful, like so goes obimsimbo or ego. Ego is a massive mobile because an ego.
Exactly.
Right. Next problem to Zana is that insecurities. Insecurities mean you're so na kusala, so you're on insecurities, it go beto, it doesn't matter if I do good or bad, if you're insecure, you're gonna feel it some type of way. Okay. Problem na makamboya ki o mobile as head of the household. This is why I say I don't just say it for the sake of nazamasi. This whole issue of head of the household in a relationship is a problem. Pourquoi? there shouldn't be one person in charge of a relationship. Is that relationship? Meaning, you can't tell me which way to go, I can't tell you which way to go. It's something we both decide together. Leading a household of other people is that different. Mais na kacha relationship entre two people, there shouldn't be the need of egos. Ego wana bozulu ko I'm the head, plus one and to kweta.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the first problem that we have. So now, if I'm now earning more money, I now have to still meet you in some next other way to make you feel comfortable about your insecurities. Okay. Plus, it doesn't mean that just to put money down, for instance, okay, to not hurt your ego, moi
l'argent me descend, me dérange pas. Non, moi j'ai dit c'est le manque de respect. Moi j'ai commencé.
Mais you will still consider it as a manque de respect.
Moi j'ai dit ouais, if you flow, il y a une manière, mais il y a une manière de faire les choses. Il y a une manière de faire les choses. Non, parce que there's a way of doing things. If you that's not disrespectful.
Exactly.
That's not disrespectful. That's not disrespectful.
Robert said that it all depends on the woman's attitude. Let me tell you, it depends. I agree. It's the same attitude a woman can say, let me pay for today. He would take that as throwing money in your face. It's not throwing money in your face.
I did not say that. It's a way of doing things. It's a way of doing things.
Listen, the same way I have, not personally, but I have seen other people explain to a man to come to the house, oh, your foot are lote, oh, your sumbe lote, your loba boete. So because of that, the woman is now quiet and shy. She can't say nothing in the house. So the woman now starts going to earn, getting her own money. Gladys, it's
not even money, it's even benefit nowadays. They consider it as ego as a woman being disrespect.
Yes, I've heard that. Ndakwa council basi apoto bazabwe po gouvernement afuta bango basi apoto bazabwe all of this is Congolese man. You use the word ke ozo finabiso. The same thing again, ego. You use that word when Robert was talking. When Robert was talking saying that it depends on the person's attitude, you said yes, basi misusu bazo finabiso. What does that mean? So azambongo. There you go. We get back to this.
Mobile moi si because both of me même si toi un bon on a pris un exemple là avec mobile sur boîte là-bas c'est bon bona
she's offered to pay as a work in the
on cheat on you oh bandi so peine assumer le cadeau des après so au calme poni ni ozi ba mi ba so ça basi mi sous payer ba sala ka so ka na mbongo na ebele au moins a comme go traiter comme si on ça vaut rien.
Okay, one second. Okay.
Moi ça va là a comme traiter le roi on ça vaut rien.
When have you noticed that? When have you seen that?
There are certain women that want to control men because you tend to find, like we say, in a relationship, it's all about energy. You have masculine and feminine energy. You tend to find women that have a lot of masculine energy. And so if you get yourself in a relationship with a woman that has a lot of masculine energy, she will try and control you because it's in her nature to try to lead or to try to tell you what to do. So she's going to be controlling, like or not, she will try and control you. And nowadays, there's a few of them.
One second. Trésor, you're going to add something here. Please, yeah. Trésor will say something. Oh, et que ça là-bas, tu me fais ma passe, mais Moloba. Trésor, Loba.
Bon, dans le bibo, hein? Biso, to balaka basi, bazala ba salaire ya seke biso. Ils ont un problème te. Vous comprenez? Ils ont sans problème hein. Oh non. Yonga na ozwa 4000, moi ça ozwa 2000. Ils ont equality côté wana ezali. Mais soki moi si akutani na mobali ki salaire na ye leki likolo. Sia
Isn't that what we just said?
Balobi na bino ke bokokoka te. Bokanga mitema. Yonsa. Ekomi oh non mobali wana mobali mobimba asalaka bien te mais mobala abandaka na salaire ne ya 1500 chaque mois.
C'est not true, it's intimidation.
Tika yalo basi matobambie ka go. That's it.
Sans effet. On comprend. Donc, basi na biso balingaka toujours mibali oyo bakoki ko contrôler.
Oh God.
Let me finish. Finish. Okay. All right. Finish, please.
Nobody's gonna speak. Zela, continue. Please give me pen and paper, not your bullet point.
Bon. Na continue.
Continue.
Merci. Na lobi boya. Biso so tozui mwasi oza na salaire amuke eza na problème te. Vous comprenez? To lingi ndinga zali, tozo kipe makamambongo te. Mais na mona kango comme un sujet difficile. Pour biso ezalaka mwasi azoloba yaka na mbongo tia na mesa. Wana ikolo tezali. Vous comprenez? Mais yo soki mwasi azo gagner mbongo koleka mobali, ezaka toujours problème pour la mwasi abimisa salaire na ye atiango likolo ya mesa. Pourquoi pour na ye ezaka mobali toujours azala likolo? Nzamba sali yo grâce que yo ozu musala koleka ya mobali. Vous comprenez? Après si yo grâce wana que ozo gagner peut-être 4000 2000 whatever ozo gagner. Vous comprenez? Et là wana à partir de salaire wana okomi ko disrespect mobali na yo.
This is what we're saying. Congolese men feel this way.
Non,
mais non, mais c'est quoi? C'est comme ça avec vous. Tous les temps, je me
It's proven our point. He has actually proven our point of what Congolese men think.
But I think
He has proven our point.
One second. No, he's made a point. But I think what Taza's trying to say is that.
I didn't even make my point.
No, but I think but there's like one second. No. I'm gonna come back to you guys. Yeah, there's like 3 minutes remaining.
That sums up. Omoni oyo problème ko yango wana to luba. Yango mona nga trésor na tokaka na luba likobo na santu sakamo nzoto na ngai. Po ani basi na biso bayoka te. Moni boy. Pokara to kama na a little agreement amukeke yo find your lobby na yoki yo ngapi na find na lobby to yoki yo to yokani na likambo bakoka kati parce que they want to be madam right ngana wrong you are wrong ngana right o yo say mibali basaka boite yango de problème yango tozo monako base belé lelo ako négliger garçon wana kendaka université bien collège azo bosanke o yaza na 60 ans azo la no père wana opese ba mbongo bolanda mbongo botika na bino bolanda mbongo
We're gonna have more time. We're gonna have more time to speak. We're gonna have more time to speak, yeah. But we're gonna have more time to speak. The situation we have here is clearly in the community there is a difference of opinion. Like there are guys who believe that our women they are
Teti.
They are rude and they are disrespectful. They're disrespectful. One second. They are disrespectful when it's because let me finish, please. When they are rude when it is the woman making more money. But whereas the woman, what they are saying is that there are some men, or guys, all of Congolese men, they are the one who is intimidated. My question is this. I'm going to give you guys this, yeah?
Perfect.
Whoever holds this has 20 seconds to speak because we need to finish the show, right? How do we now come to a conclusion? Because evidently there is a problem here, there is a conflict here, and my question is not who is to blame, whether it's right or wrong. My question is, how do we, I'm gonna give you this, it's gonna go around, yeah? My question is, how now do we come to a conclusion? How now do we help each other in this sort of situation? if you can give me a conclusion, you've got 20 seconds each.
For me, number one, bwaka ego nayo. Luka ba insecurities na uza na wana kati, poye bezali nezo déranger yo na kati na yo moko. Poye ba ava kota na mutu boza la ensemble bo build ndako, bo build ba empire to baka bo building empires to know how to be in a couple that is able to actually build this empire securely, which means ego when removed will be able to understand our weaknesses and our strengths as a couple. Pote ba neni to ko sangsa one is ambongo. Sagesse, soki sagesse, c'est sagesse. Compatibility as a whole. Potokomawana, ego, they are.
Merci.
Thank you. I agree with everything that Maya said, mainly getting rid of your egos. But you've asked us how we can solve this issue. We're never going to solve it as long as we have people like Trésor and Francois with that type of mindset in the community. Most of them, they're so, especially Trésor, he's so attached to culture, head of household. A woman must be submissive, a woman must this, that. We're never going to come to it. So people like him, he's proven our point today, whether he likes it or not, that Congolese men are intimidated by women. He's given so many ways to show that my statement is right, that all of you are intimidated by Congolese women. You've proven it as well, whether you like it or not. And you've proven it as well, whether you like it or not, by attitude. So all of you have proven it. So anyway, we're never going to come to a solution. That is it.
Okay, get it.
First of all, I don't think ego is a bad thing. There's a thing as a bruising ego, but there's also a thing as ego. Basically, I think gives you a sense of what you're worth. So I don't think ego is a bad thing. So that's just to get. Did
you say worth and ego?
Yeah, your worth basically. Yeah. But to get back to to this topic, I don't. For me, it's not making more money that's gonna be disrespectful to me. It's not if you want to buy me a dinner or whatever. You can make $1 million, I make 20,000 a year. I don't care. For me, it's really just the way they interact with a person. To me, it's really just if you disrespect a person, that's just literally where the relationship is going to go down. Yeah. So that disrespect really is just goes from person to person. One person is not gonna like another person. He doesn't care. Okay. But again, it's really just
disrespect.
Let's go
it's disrespect.
We're never going to solve it.
Linda's there.
I think it's quite simple. Based on all the conversation, all the noise that I've heard here today, date somebody that has the same values as you.
Thank you.
That will prevent you from me, for example, encountering people like Trésor. And encountering people like me who wouldn't agree with your line of thinking. There is somebody for everybody, and you date people whose values align with yours to prevent yourself from your egos being bruised, feeling insecure, being triggered, feeling unworthy, unloved, and unsupported, disrespected, all the things, and vice versa. Date somebody whose values align with yours.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with Amber. Amber, right?
Yeah.
And I was also.
You speak a bit louder, yeah?
I was also going to say, my wife actually said something. She says, keep the same energy. Meaning that if you feel like I'm a man,
keep that.
Don't let anybody else affect you in that.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to say the second thing is that I feel like if a woman's in a relationship with a guy who feels intimidated and all of that, I think she should help him. Have a conversation and clear it out.
I believe in it. Like, you can have all the money in the world, but if you're humble about it, I believe that it's not a problem for you, to have someone who doesn't have as much money as you. But it's when you throw it in their face and then put it like, oh, I can do better than you, or I can do the same as you. And I feel like that's kind of like what some women do.
It goes down to the deep root of your own insecurities, because if someone is intimidated by me, I don't know why that is my problem, because no one can come and make me feel intimidated. It has to be something that's deep rooted within myself that will trigger that intimidation. Again, it goes back to stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, date in your lane, And you know, don't come out of your lane and then start saying you're intimidated by this, by that. And I just wanted to say a little bit, you know, I feel like the term kubwakambongo to use that word more loosely. I don't think it's that necessary kubwakambongo. Mais nazo mona keza mi bali kaka balingarate moi si azala na role ya kukumba voiture. But mona ke the woman can't be the leader, the woman can't be the driver. The so moi si azo drive et mona yokola moi si azo bate place ni azo kende, but décision se fait où t'es pas mobali parce que ezala ki nerona from époque, il faut continuer quand nerona. No, it's 2019. Let's move with the time. Stay in your lane.
Me, as for me, Binomi Ballet, my sister Amber and Nadis, the only thing I can tell you, I think Bino Banga Mobile letting guy who can say no to you.
Oh my God!
You understand?
We have to separate these two.
Trésor, ça peut être trésor, ça n'a pas logique mo, car ça y a trésor, car you know what I mean. I don't really know. Est-ce que basi penza balinga mi bali obako contrôler? Me personally, I don't know if that's a true fact because a man is supposed to be a man. A man is strong. A man is, you know, the silverback. So why would a woman go out there look at mobali or ko contrôler? Like, who wants a yuma? No one wants a yuma. Like, na money like na walk up and down. Like, no one wants that. A man needs to be a man.
I'm laughing, yes, I will laugh because the way he's doing his eyes.
Trezor said that women like men that they control, and maybe the women he's encountered. I don't believe that to be true at all. I think most women are looking for somebody that understands them and that meets them halfway and is prepared to compromise. That's very different from control.
Of course. Pourquoi Basi ne pas contredire it's a reality. Basi et Bele, they like to control men. They want to control them because as alingi asala buzoba normal. Amona do buzoba comme il est normal. Donc ils ont la kena azana license to sa buzoba. Moni mobali o alingi mwasi na ye. Eloko liboso olinga mwasi na tambola bien za la bien. Net quand même mwasi pa olinga pe mobali na tambola. Parce que a lot of women pour moni to face the reality. Bino mo bobeta maso ba hormone biloko na tout. Pourquoi et ça ba sentiment. Moi ça zo réagir par rapport parce que c'est nga ba règle na ye. Ils ont poussé ça à faire décision moi mabe. Mais soit ça na mobali azo zongisi na nzela, a ça ba décision so mabete. Mais biso lelo to mo na ka moi si loko décision sur moi ça zo zwa eza bien. Or moi si azaka na ba temps moko boye azwa ka ba décision moko boye za bien te. Mais so moi ça na yo kaka ako éviter cause ba décision mabe parce que mobile a pemela.
Pour ngai na ozora terre lo batea. They just literally scared of a man or it's about okay what you're doing is wrong. Balingi ba fana na position mobo ata bazo sala mabe. Yoko yebise take as osali mabe. We like I always say this, ngalinga ka basi na biso ba Congolese. Baza the best. You understand? Il faut tikala na nzela na you. Ata ozana ba million na you. Kobosa na teke oza mwasi. Kobosa na peteke ngaza mobali. Ngapi na kobosa na peteke yoza mwasi, ngapi na kobosa na peteke na mobali. You understand? Donc yo soki omona mutu lokola ngai difficile eza parce que olingi koza la correcteté parce que d'abord dans la zoloba na remarqué loko moko quand bien mi ba bo takenga na suka na conclusion bon lobi mutu neti ngai azali compliqué pourquoi parce que trésor azoli bisabino obo saleza mabe ba vérité et bozo kokangote malobaki na bino lo moko bo pe na 6 na 4 10 seconds so 5 seconds moi si oyo nano a comprendre te kaza mutaberere aza mwana mke.
I don't really feel anywhere about it because I know he's not talking about me, so I'm not really that bothered by it at all. It's the first time I've heard it actually. I've not heard of it before, but yeah, I'm not bothered by it.
Je pense que dans la conclusion, on a Linda, on a toujours que valeur est très importante dans la relation. Là, on a date il faut que date un bateau presque dans la valeur. Pour ne pas harmoniser la valeur, on peut avancer dans la relation avec un malamu. Parce que
il y a une conclusion parce que parce que ce qu'on donne en tour à Gladys, on a place à l'aime sous ma camionne, trop de matériel, ma voiture,
But you call Gladys.
I gave an example what the question he asked me. He gave an example of the question.
Finish.
Freeze. La bombe 20 secondes.
Yeah, if you want me to, I was answering his question.
Okay, thank you.
Donc, sur l'innombre avec Gladys, moi, j'ai placé ma camionne sur le matériel.
False.
Yo, ça la valeur, nous sommes de musique. Mon relation est au fond dans la relation. Relation, et ça, yo yé, na ba bloc là. Yo yé na ba bloc là. We adding value to each other. Bon, relation est raté. We are obanda go soustraire, obanda go longo langa.
Azo final, ils se
soustraire. Add value to each other, so we can move forward. Au moins, au cause de nani, ngala cause peut-être na un am belo ko le moi c'est vrai. Mais moi c'est na ndako, atana gérance ma kamanda ko le kanga. Amen. So what she's bringing to my life, is that eleki na mbongo ngala zo mema. Ozo comprendre. Tout cause dans la vie spirituelle nanga. So na mutu assemble la mingi, ngala assemble la mingi te, par exemple, yemo c'est ngala assemble la mingi, ngala assemble la mingi te.
Les saluts individuels.
La vie spirituelle nanga. Ozo comprendre. Azo memanga na balance moko boye ya malamu. And it happens. Mais so za la batura oyo pona ya moni que vie et sa voiture et sa nini. You're not going to go far. La batura. Donc parce que bazara
So basically what you're saying again, actually, I'm going to go to the conclusion, but go on.
But maman bodé to
Solution.
Don't young people don't go to trésor. Anyway, my conclusion is this year. Oh please, man, your older generation, the old generation.
Okay.
However, my conclusion. Should I hold my 20 seconds?
Yeah.
Should I hold it?
Yeah.
Rewind.
No, go on.
I thought you said men don't interrupt women.
Go
Oh!
on, finish.
So basically, my conclusion is this: everybody that said here, especially the ladies, I agree with you very well. Rob as well. You're Nalubi respect. You're okay, not disrespect. Anyway, we're gonna go there another time. My conclusion would be deal with your insecurity before you get into a relationship. Yes. Insecurity and worth are two different things. Because the person can know the worth, they'll know how they direct themselves, they'll know how to compose themselves, and they'll know what is for them, and they will stay in their lane. Okay. But a person with insecurity wouldn't. However, what Rob said, like keeping the same energy, when you meet with someone, or it depends, because they're different class, but they still get along. Negative and positive can get along, and positive get along, and negative. It depends. But however, is the way that you decide, the agreement that you both agree when you get into a relationship. For example, me and my partner, before we got in a relationship, we set our foundation already on the table. I'm ambition, I like to work, I like to get my money, I like to have my own money. And he said, you know what, I like to work, but sometimes and there's a balance between us. It's not saying all Congolese men or all the women are treading on a man, or they're nothing, or they trying to disrespect a man. But it's the agreement that you both have agreed and keep to it. And can I just end with one thing, yeah? Saying that a man is the head and a woman's the neck, that is incorrect. Because if I'm your helper, somehow I'm in the same level as you. Okay. For me to help you. Thank you.
No problem. Well, guys, as you can see, even in the conclusion, there was difference of opinion. But guys, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share. Solola bien, we talked about our Congolese men intimidated by successful women. Yes. That was the end of the topic. Let us know your thoughts. Share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
We talk about BBL, yeah? Like now, so don't talk, they're like, oh no, it's not my baby, blah, blah. We're talking about Voice of Congo. The women he posts.
That means your mom and your dad both are nappy-headed because we have afro hair. So you go around calling other people nappy-headed. You hate yourself. You hate your mom. You hate your auntie because nappy-headed is what you are.
I don't even think sometimes it's that deep. Like, so what if you haven't seen my real hair? I don't owe you that. So what? Like, what's your issue? Why does that have to mean I hate myself? And if I hate myself or I don't like my real hair, why does that mean I hate myself? No, I said the black men do it as well. No, you said they don't. Hold on. Wait. Are you gonna let me answer or are you gonna talk to yourself?